We're going to say it one more time. Renae underscore Sessions.
Sessions.
Yes.
Yes.
Mhm. If he's not for life, maybe he can be more than a song. Maybe it could be an album.
Ooh, an album. Speaking of albums, are you working on any albums right now?
I am working on recording some new songs. In terms of putting out albums, I feel as though so many artists are concerned with having that certain number to be able to put their songs out. And then you end up listening to their album and you only like a few of their songs. So I'm being selective about what I release because I want to love the songs and I want the people who listen to them to love them just as much as I do.
So, speaking on
so
that,
I should have new music coming out in early October.
Okay. So, like when you make songs, by chance, do you have a certain amount of time that you sit with them? Be like, well, if I enjoy these songs for this amount of time, then I'll release it to the people, or do you just follow your heart, really, and your musical instinct to be like, I created it at this point, so I'm going to drop it at this point?
I trust my creative senses in terms of when I feel as though the sound is right. Because I have songs, but it's all about the words being right, the vibe being right, the message coming through clearly. And because, as I say, I mean, I want it to sound good, but I also want you to feel it when it comes out.
So what is your biggest inspiration for making music? Like I know, like you talked about like the song we just heard, where it was the desire to fall in love and meeting somebody that made you feel those feelings. Well, is there anything else that's your bigger influence to creating music?
I'm really inspired by interactions and my own personal experiences. So it could be a conversation with an ex. It could be a conversation with someone who's going through something in a relationship, and then somehow it tapping into a feeling that I already have. That can inspire me to write. But I'm primarily inspired by my real life experiences. I tend to write from how I feel right now, and that's why Love to Love took so long, because I didn't feel the second verse, and it took another year for me to actually feel it and be able to write it. So my songs tend to take longer sometimes, and sometimes they just come to me. Like my song, What More? That song just came to me. I wrote that song and recorded it in probably about 3 to 4 hours. It just came to me.
By chance, do you know why it just came to you? Like, what factored into that for you?
Well, I had found this track that I really liked. I would say maybe the night before I wrote it, and then again, I went out with this guy that I had been dating. We had a wonderful night, and when I came home, he left me feeling like, what more can I ask for?
By chance, is this the same guy or a different guy?
A different guy. You know, single in the city.
Okay.
You know?
Noticing the pattern here.
You know, I'm a hard one to hold down.
Okay, I'm feeling it.
Girl, me too.
Thank
everybody
you.
know you are Nakia.
What'd you say, Rich?
I said everybody know you are Nakia. You the girl in motion.
Yes. Very hard to catch me and very hard to hold me down. Yes.
That's right, girl. Because the bottom line is like, you deserve to have what you want in life. Everybody does. You shouldn't have to settle and be dissatisfied. And that's why I say, you know, take it moment by moment, and eventually that should lead you to where you belong.
So, like, I know you have new music coming out in October, but like, when do you know that it'll be the right time for you to drop your album?
When I can sing it and I love it like it's my favorite song. To be honest, you know, when you're in the car and that song comes on and you're just like, yeah. That's my song, that's my jam. I got these words, I'm singing them and I'm feeling them. That's when I know that it's right. When I put it on in the car and I'm singing it and I'm feeling it.
Like, by chance, did you ever have to go through a period where you had to get used to hearing your singing voice? I know, like, most artists, like, they hate listening to themselves, or, like, they always hate their voice, and people can love it, but for them, it just makes them cringe. Like, by chance, did you ever go through that period, or you just always been a fan of your voice?
I did. When I first started recording many moons ago, I did not like what my voice sounded like. But I think that the issue with that was that I really didn't have my own sound. It was as if I was trying to sound like somebody else. I was trying to sing someone else's songs because I wasn't really tapped into my own poetry. I kind of tapped out. And it took me a while to develop my own sound. And once I did, I was actually like amazed by my voice, like that's me. So it turned from I can't stand to hear it to wow, that's me, that's incredible.
Yeah. So how did you find your own sound? How long did that take you?
It actually took me several years, and but what really helped me develop my own sound was getting heavy into writing my own lyrics. You know, it's like I would go to auditions and it would be like, you know, sing this cover tune. And I finally had to get myself to the point where it was, no, I need to sing my own songs, because when I sing my own songs, I sing in my own voice.
Yeah. So when you were writing, did you ever start off, like when you first started singing, did you always write your own songs, or it took you some time to begin to write your own songs?
I started off writing my own songs, and then there were periods in my life where I was so wrapped up in the day-to-day and the happenings of my life where when I would try to sit down and write, it's like I had such a mental block that I couldn't even tap into anything to say. I would listen to music and I wouldn't hear any words. And once I started pushing myself to go for what I want to be instead of what I should be, is when I was able to start finding the words to write the songs.
So, by chance, is there any music that you listen to that you draw inspiration from? Like, I know experiences help with writing, but by chance, is there any artist or maybe a specific song that you listen to that just really just gets your creative juices flowing to try to create?
I'm going to say there are some artists I listen to sometimes if I'm trying to create something in a certain mood. My favorite artist, as you mentioned, SoulChild, I would say, is an artist that I go to very frequently. I like his flows and his, like, direct perspective, which is kind of what I come from in terms of my writing, is I tend to write from a self perspective. And I really like that about his lyrics. And I also tap into a little Faith Evans sometimes, and every now and again I might hit up some Erykah Badu just to get some groove.
All sounds good. Which one is your favorite out of the three that you just named?
Well, my favorite is Musiq SoulChild. He has songs that, you know, I can listen to. All of them do, but his songs, like, I just really love his style, and I really like the lyrics. He's good. I love him.
Yeah. So, by chance, is he the artist that made you want to start doing music, or was there another artist where it started for you that made you want to do music?
There was another artist. When I was young, I'm not sure if you guys, recall this period, but when there used to be music on records, and my father had a record collection, and I would dig through his collection, and I remember finding Stevie Wonder. And
it's awful.
I believe, and possibly was maybe like goodness, I wish I could answer that question. It was so long ago. I was so young. But I remember that it was a single. And I believe he was singing with Diana Ross, and it goes something like, if you really love me, won't you tell me? Something like that. And I would play that. And when I was, in a down mood, I would put that on, and I just really love Stevie Wonder to this day. He's the ultimate, literally.
Yeah, I love Stevie Wonder too. Like a song that I listen to for inspiration because I'm from Michigan and I'm real big into the Motown movement and their whole legacy. I'll listen to Stevie Wonder's Uptight. There's just something about that song that gets me going, makes me want to work a little harder than what I usually do sometimes. So I definitely agree. I think Stevie Wonder is one of the greater artists of our time.
He is. He is. He's not celebrated enough.
Definitely. Yeah, so besides Stevie Wonder, is there anybody else that you drew inspiration from? By chance, do you even listen to that song present day?
I have. I would say I've listened to that song maybe at least in the last 6 months.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, present day, do you do any live shows?
I'm working on my performance. So I've been hitting up some open mics here in downtown Los Angeles, Hollywood, Studio City area.
Okay.
Hitting up open mics. Working on my performance.
And how has the reception been for your performances?
The reception has been good. They have a very strong underground independent artist community. So there's people that come out to support, and there's a great support system even within the artist community here. So it's been good.
Okay. And are you originally from Los Angeles, or did you move there at a certain point for your career?
I moved here a little over a year ago. I came from New York City.
Okay. And
prior to New York City, I've lived in so many places here in the U.S. I've lived a gypsy lifestyle by choice and a gypsy lifestyle because my father was in the U.S. Army.
Okay, makes sense.
But yes, I am originally from New York, but I wasn't fortunate enough to grow up there. I had to go back there as an adult.
Yeah, so does being in Los Angeles affect your music at all? Does it make you create a little differently? I'm
not going to say I necessarily create too differently, but I can say that maybe I am getting a little bit lighter in terms of the vibes and the ideas that I'm putting out in terms of the music right now. I'm still writing about love, but maybe I'm trying to write about it in a little more expressive, carefree kind of way. So a little bit of a difference, but not too much.
Okay. So will this more carefree approach be in some of the new music that I'll be dropping in October?
Yes. It still has its baseline of inspiration, but I'm definitely delving a little bit more into the ways that people, I'm trying to think of how to put this, the ways that people initiate.